Hello, folks. So I've been studying the ancient Egyptian map of the world, of the planet, the Hierakonpolis Tomb 100 mural, and, which was destroyed by the Egyptian government recently. Basically, after I exposed that it's a map of the planet, they destroyed it. I'm not sure if they destroyed it just because of me or because other people had already been saying it was a map, even though they misidentified everything on it. But I'm pretty sure that they did destroy it for that reason, that people were realizing it's a map. And so supposedly, probably Zawi Hawass, like the Minister of Antiquities, or some similar scumbag, decided to destroy it just to debunk us. But, I mean, the only good thing, you can't say there's really a good thing, but not that it necessarily matters what these idiots think, but by destroying it, they debunk themselves. So anyway, the restoration and display of the oldest known mural painting from a pre-dynastic tomb, Tomb 100, from the site of Hierakonpolis. So no, it's not a thumbs up. It's like, so this is, these people, like these sheeple destroying their own heritage. Well, I don't know who these people are. Maybe she's like British or something. But anyway, they're like destroying Egypt's heritage and the world's heritage. But now they're going to reconstruct it without the map part. They're going to, I guess, repaint all the avatars without the mainland. Because they claim to believe that the mainland was a stain, even though their own destruction disproved that, because the two avatars who they thought their heads were hidden behind the stain, once they erased the stain, they still don't have a head. So those figures never had a head. There's nothing painted under this quote-unquote stain. So, but they're stupid enough, they'll still, or like just shameless enough, they'll still pretend that they're right and they did nothing wrong. The mural will go on display just beyond the entrance to the museum. So that's how important this thing is, that Egypt, which their whole economy is tourism and these museums, they would put this on display just beyond the entrance. But first they destroy it. Tomb 100 was discovered by the English Egyptologist Frederick W. Green in 1898. So they've had these modern people have had, a while. They've had 125 years or something to figure out this thing, and supposedly they still think it's just some abstract art or something. Painting was later moved. So he finds a tomb wall and he moves the whole wall. Okay, because they probably destroyed the site itself. Moved to the Egyptian Museum. This painted tomb represents the earliest known representation of motifs of power, including the famous smiting scene that was to become synonymous with the pharaoh's power over his defeated enemies. So I'm not sure what that, I think they're referring to Britain and Ireland. Britain smiting Ireland with his club which is the Hebrides. The Outer Hebrides. That's my guess, is what they're saying there. So it could be that the pharaohs identified as Britain I mean, it could be that you basically, as you go through the map, you identify with every, I mean, that's basically the case. You identify with every avatar. That's how you memorize it. Yada yada. This project is supported by the National Museum of Antiquities, Leiden. So that's Leiden. Is that Holland or Germany? I don't know. I guess it's Holland. I don't know. In cooperation with the British Museum, London, of course. Restoration and cleaning were conducted by a restorer from the British Museum, in cooperation with a conservator from the Egyptian Museum's Conservation Department. So there's this gobbledygook of language to cover up what they did. They say restoration and cleaning. So they don't even admit the order they did it in. They quote unquote cleaned it and then they're restored it. I don't know if they're still restoring it or not, but you know, that comes after the cleaning it, which was the part that destroyed the whole fucking thing. But they say restoration and cleaning to make it sound like, oh no, we restored it and then we cleaned it up a bit. No. You had to restore it because you cleaned it and destroyed it. You know, like literally these people whose website this is and everything, they were part of doing this. So they're trying to lie their way out of it. But it does seem like the British Museum was in charge potentially. It says restoration and cleaning were conducted by a restorer from the British Museum in cooperation. So I'm thinking that British Museum restorer, quote unquote, was really in charge, and then the Egyptian Museum's conservation department, quote unquote, conservator, quote unquote, from the conservation department, quote unquote, also helped them destroy it. So this is what conserving artifacts means nowadays in this Orwellian fucking timeline or shit world or whatever. So there you go. This is science for all those trust the science people. This is what you people do. It's like, this is what those people are about, just destroying shit and then lying about it. So it's not a thumbs up. I guess I gotta flip this. This is part of Hispaniola, I believe. Yep, thumbs down, you fucks. So yeah, I want to see people in jail for this, at the very least. They owe the people of Egypt and humanity, like, a lot. Let's see, so this this is a Mayan avatar of Australia and New Guinea. Well, I mean, I don't know. I always call this whole thing Papua. They're calling it New Guinea. I mean, okay. So either way, call it Papua, call it New Guinea, whatever. Only like half of it is politically New Guinea, PNG, Papua New Guinea. This, I guess this part is Papua New Guinea. This part is, West Papua, basically Indonesia. And so anyway, this figure, I think I might have said in an earlier video that Australia, in most of the Egyptian avatars, they separate these two out and they do them separately. But I think I might have said in one that if they were together, it kind of looks like a big animal, like munching on a smaller animal. So that's seemingly the case. So I don't know if this is like a koala bear or whatever this is. I'm going to call it a koala bear. Not really sure. And he's kneeling the way he is in the Egyptian ones. In the Egyptian ones, this section is referred to as the kneeling ones, who live by their boomerangs or, by their throw sticks. So this New Guinea, of course, this leg, I guess, is this peninsula here. And then this, I guess, the tail would seem to be probably this, New Britain right here, and then the curve of it may also include New Ireland right there. There's this kind of line that comes around here, which there really seems to be that sort of a shape right here, and there might even be a river or something that's in somewhat of that shape there, or some topographical contours. And then this, it looks like they're saying that this part of kind of western, West Papua is basically Australia's paw, which, it does kind of look like a paw, and like the contours of it are probably pretty similar. Like here it has this like indent on the paw, and that's like this indent right here, and then this little tag that comes off it is like this little whatever the fuck right there. And so yeah, I'm not sure about all this, but and I'm not sure for Australia. It does seem like this is like this part, and I'm guessing that Tasmania is his ear, but I'm not sure if it's how specific it is with the contours of it. Like, I'm sure there's a lot more in here that's significant. Like there is a kind of bay like that around here. There's one, I'm not sure if it's meant to be the one here, or here. But yeah, and then like this part that pops off could be like this thing here, maybe. I guess is that Coburg Peninsula, or Coburg. Yeah, Coburg Peninsula and the Tiki Islands or Kiwi. I don't know, I forget what they're called. So yeah, that kind of shows, because a lot of these you can't really understand it till you look at the bathymetry to see the seamounts, because they often include the seamounts in these maps. So that's, I think, accounts somewhat for his arms, are these like massive, this was dry land during the Ice Age, so this avatar could date back to then, or it could just be based on the fact that that it's still very shallow between these two. So something good for sailors to know and avoid, or whatever, or at least be wary of. So that was Sahul, when it was dry land. And so, I was thinking there was a chance that this other little ghost peninsula was this part, but based on the curved shape of it, it seems more likely to be New Britain and New Ireland. Yeah. So there you go. Not sure exactly about his face, like if this is his mouth or if it's all something in here in the York Peninsula or Cape York. Mhm. See, this is another comparison showing Cuba where you can actually see, I realize I have to use the photos of the destroyed map because they're the only really close-up photos that exist. They didn't do good photos of it before they destroyed it, only afterwards. So, you can see like they destroyed the most important part of this avatar because his legs are in the same shape as this curved part of Cuba. So I'm going to try to restore this like by grafting the original legs onto here. And then I'll do like a better comparison. But at least this one way you can really see that his front of his face or whatever is the same as as this, more or less. His horns are up there, and then he has this little like run, like it's like there's one big horn and one smaller horn. So I think that's this, and then there's a break, and then there's like these two horns. So I don't know what these two horns must be, either seamounts or islands nearby. I'm not exactly sure which they would be, unless they're completely symbolic. But these parts that are actually attached to him seem to be quite real. And yeah, not sure about I'm guessing the front legs relate also to like seamounts around here, but they could relate to peninsulas in there. Not sure, and not entirely sure about this tail, if that's in here or it could be this other little island that's right nearby. And let's see. So this is one of. Oh yeah, here's another one of Australia and Papua. This is one where I was just noticing that the main image I could find of the Jersey Devil is basically, or like somewhat at least, matches the shape of the actual East Coast. That like this would be like New Jersey, his head, and then his wings would be the surrounding coast, basically Delmarva and Long Island. So who knows? It could be that even some modern, kind of mythological creatures are also, terrestrial avatars, topographical avatars, or whatever, geographical avatars. So yeah, this is just another image of just kind of a normal image of those. And even with this, you can basically see a lot of the contours underwater and why they would be seen as, potentially arms that are going across from Oz to Papua. And yeah, hard to know like all the details of this. I mean, I was looking at Tasmania to see if it's really the shape of the ear. It doesn't look exactly like the shape of the ear. So it's like there may be major parts that are strictly symbolic and stylized, but that's just to trigger normies, because normies can't handle that shit. Normies can't handle symbolism, so such. Let me see what I mean. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. Story of my life. But it's not really like the mass. I mean, I guess it's the masses, but it's especially the elites and the people who think that they're educated. The university educated morons. So yeah, here's Hispaniola in the here's a Mayan avatar of Hispaniola. It's where like Haiti is. And so like basically this part is Haiti, this part is the Dominican Republic. So, it's has been known as the whole island has been known as Haiti, it's been known as Hispaniola, it's been known as Santo Domingo or something, which I guess what Dominican Republic comes from. So yeah, it's pretty obvious here. As soon as I saw this guy, I was like, okay, cool, that's Hispaniola. And it even has this little thing here, this little peninsula coming off. And it's like, so it's cool because I thought, probably in an earlier video when I first identified the Egyptian maps of Hispaniola, in which, there's one in which he's a dog, and there's one in which he's a horse. But I think I remember saying, or thinking at least, and quite possibly saying that I thought he looked like a lizard, like his face looks like a lizard. I think I did say that in a video. Anyway, but so the Mayans saw it the same as me, like they rendered it as a lizard face, but they gave him a hoof of like a horse or a deer or something. I guess it would be a deer. I mean, I don't know what kind of hoof this would be. So that's interesting that both this Mayan avatar and the earliest Egyptian avatar rendered this peninsula as a hoof. So, that could be because that was, a shared cultural thing, a known shared meme. Or, yeah. So, Hispaniola, what else does it have on here? It has this part here, which this little square, I think, is actually like this little square here that like attaches to this. Because like I think between here there's like water, and like here the arm attaches to the body, and then here it kind of attaches again, but this part is like separated, so it's very stylized. They pushed this apart, they pushed this forward, they seem to have expanded the lower jaw and the head in general. And like this shape here matches pretty well with this shape here, so I'm thinking that this stuff around here is largely seamounts. It's largely at least stuff that's now underwater, but you still can't really sail there. I think it's called like the Dead Man's Cove or something here because it's so shallow you can run around probably, so they would include it in the maps. And maybe that's what this signifies somehow, that it's blank here. Who knows? So it could be that this is this sea mounts, and then this part is like this that comes down. Who knows? And and then like I'm guessing this part is this Tortuga. His lower jaw is gonave. This part seems to be probably here, and yeah, I don't know, something like that. And then there's probably all this stuff is significant, like maybe these scales represent mountains, who knows? Um, certainly on here, like the concentration of these is around the highest mountains. It seems like right here is like the most of these little lines and stuff. So there you go, Hispaniola, Haiti. I mean, Haiti might be a better name for it because it's like that's the native or a native name. I'm not sure. Some say that, I guess they say that Haiti might have originally just meant part of it, but then it came to mean the whole thing.